Hey, man, thanks a lot. Thanks for coming by.
Oh man, I've been looking for this all over the place. I heard this, Mr. Serrano. It'd be my pleasure if you could sign this for me.
Sure, I'd be happy to, man.
Here you go.
Dude, I'm like a total Archie fan too, and I really want to know.
Yeah, you can just sign it right there.
But
That'd be great.
I just didn't. I didn't. Don't get me wrong, it's a great book, but I didn't work on this. It's not my book. I did Ash Shaves Obama. But, this is Elliot Serrano for the Chicago Red Eye and Geek to Me, coming to you from Challengers Comics and Conversation. We're here right now. The good folks here at Challengers have hosted me to sign copies of Ash Shaves Obama #1, and of course, this place is so full right now. It's hopping. Back, can you get people back from the camera? Back up, folks. But anyway, I have the pleasure of being joined by the host of Wordballoon, the #1 comics podcast out of...
It's number 4. It's nice.
No, it's
thank
#1
you.
in my book.
Oh, God bless you.
As a singular host.
All right, thank you. There you go.
Around Comics is the #1.
That's true. All the other shows.
Table.
All right,
podcast,
the other shows ahead of me are all panel shows. All right, I'll take that. That's a good call.
John Suintres. John.
Al, good to see you. Thank you very much.
Good to see you. You were so kind to actually help me fulfill a dream of mine. You interviewed me on Wordballoon.
Aim higher. Aim higher.
It's as high as
you
I
know,
can.
when Vanita Rogers interviews you, then you've made the big time, my friend.
Really?
Yes, my compatriot at Newsarama, yes.
I don't think that's ever going to happen.
No.
She's out of my league, man.
No.
Out of my league.
She's very sweet.
I'm sure she is. I'm sure. For those who don't know, I mean, if you watch the Red Eye and you're not the huge comic book nerd that I am, John Suintres does host a comic podcast called Wordballoon. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Wordballoon is a one-on-one interview show. It's kind of in the model of shows like Charlie Rose or on radio, Fresh Air, in terms of it just being no frills, just a simple conversation between me and the guest, and we talk about either the books they've written or drawn, or in some cases I do interviews with TV and movie people as well when the occasion comes up. And I've been doing it since 2005 and have over 200 interviews and enjoy myself and enjoy the guests. And we get to learn more about the person as well as the books that they're writing or drawing.
And first, you have great pipes. I mean, you have a voice for radio. You have a radio background, correct?
Oh, yeah. I've been working in Chicago radio for over 20 years. And before that, I worked in downstate Illinois. So currently work at one of the FM stations in town. I make commercials. But I spent 15 years doing sports talk and worked at The Score in Chicago.
The Score, yep.
And Sporting News Radio, the national network that the Sporting News sponsors. So that's where I kind of learned how to do interviewing and, just decided in 2005 I wasn't getting enough assignments to cover sports, and I wanted to keep my hand in interviewing and hosting, so I decided to start Wordballoon. And it's been great. I've been very happy.
I got to say, it is a really good podcast because,
Thank you.
Like you said, you bring a lot of that, I guess, more legitimate type journalistic flair.
I always say comic journalism is kind of an oxymoron because, really, at the end of the day, we're all following press releases from publishers. Everyone announces what the new book is. So there's very few stories broken. And also, I don't want to get into any gossip or anything like that. So, yeah, I mean, I just want to really, it's more entertainment. But I appreciate you saying that. That's nice.
Yeah, because, again, you do have a lot of tabloid journalism within comics as well. I interviewed Rich Johnston of Bleeding Cool. He fully admits that his type of journalism is more of the tabloid type.
Yeah, well, I don't also the only exception to Rich that I have of Rich's coverage is I hate spoilers. Now he always does the Inviso text, but I just think spoilers are. I don't see the point. I mean, for me, I actually want to read the book. I want to be surprised. I don't want to know ahead of time. And sometimes promotion for toys or previews will kind of spoil stories, and that's unfortunate because at the end of the day, I really enjoy reading the books, and I just want to be shocked when I'm actually turning the pages rather than, okay, where's that moment? Golden Age Superman, you're about to be a zombie, come on. Boom.
Zombie! Zombie.
Yes, we had that discussion.
And if you want to know what the discussion is about, you have to go to wordballoon.com.
We had a nice talk.
We had a nice talk.
Absolutely.
And it got a little spirited there.
No, but it was but that's okay. I mean, it's good discussion, and I mean that's what I appreciated about our show, because you're a reviewer as well as a writer, and I wanted to talk about some of the events that are going on right now, and I want to hear what other people think. I mean, I'm kind of it takes a lot for me not to like something, and I won't deny there have been events that I've kind of passed up just out of lack of interest, and God, there are so few X books that will ever interest me, and I'm the first one to admit that. But
so the carpet bombing that Marvel's doing isn't hitting you, you know.
Not in the X books. No, I glossed over Manifest Destiny, and even Matt Fraction, one of the guys I really enjoy talking to, doing Dark X-Men right now. I'm kind of shrugging. I'm looking forward to Paul Cornell's follow-up to that, and I think that'll be cool. But it's World War Hulk. I was like, meh, and I hate that word meh, but I have to admit I was kind of indifferent. But Dark Reign, I love it, and I honestly, Blackest Night, I think is excellent. And as I said on our conversation, I think as opposed to the typical zombie story, I think we're getting very interesting, cutting dialogue from these undead heroes, than as opposed to just brains.
Well, it's really zombies meets in therapy, because they're just hitting you right where you live.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of cool, and it's fun to hear people who are first being exposed to a lot of these dead characters in this story, and they're still enjoying it. But somebody like me that's been reading for over 35 years, I mean, it's great hearing this dialogue and knowing what Adam and the Hawkman and the Atom have meant to each other as friends, and to see now this dead Hawkman just taunting Ray and stuff. And I just think conversations like that, Aquaman, my God, Aquaman with Mera and Aqualad and everybody, that was awesome.
It was awesome.
So, and I'm really looking forward to the characterization of Mera, something that Jeff Johns has promised to really elevate in a way we've never seen before. So that's the fun for me, is when these events have character moments that you don't normally see. And I think that's what makes them great.
You've been reading comics for a long time.
Yes, sir. Since the 12-cent era. Swear to God.
Oh, wow.
It's the truth.
12 cents.
Oh,
Guys, comics
Late
did
60s.
once cost.
Late 60s, man.
I thought you said 12th century.
Gutenberg, exactly.
Patrick Brower, shout out. I thought you said 12th century. So
there you go. Yeah.
My mic's good, but I don't know if it's that good.
All right.
Yeah. What do you think about the current state of comics?
I think this is I think I said this if I didn't say this in our conversation, I know I've said it a lot. I really think this is a golden age that we're all in now, because there have always been great books, no matter what the decade, going even back to the 30s and 40s. You could find exceptional books. But I think the amount of great books that are out right now, I can't think of a time where there have been comics for every age, every interest, and I really think the art has gone in places that they've never gone before, and the same goes for the story writing as well, whether it's in the mainstream or in the independent world. So, I mean, God, there's really cool stuff happening on a lot of mainstream DC and Marvel books to rival the interesting things happening, with Chris Ware or name your favorite independent or art book, comic book creator. I think that's fantastic. And again, I think so many of these writers have grown up reading comic books that they're excited about telling more adult stories, and they're more excited and interested to give them more characterization. It seems like, I know Alan Moore said Stan Lee made... when comic books first came out in the 40s, he said they were very one-dimensional, and he said Stan Lee was an innovator because he made them two-dimensional. And I think we finally reached that age where we're getting three-dimensional stories. And again, it's those shades of conversation that you've never seen before that make Dark Reign and Blackest Night the interesting events that they are.
If someone wants to go to wordballoon.com, what do you think are some of the best interviews that you have on there people should definitely check out?
Well, honestly,
besides the one we did.
Certainly, I think we did a very nice one, and it's currently up there. But no, there's a reason why Brian Bendis, Jeff Johns, Greg Rucka, Matt Fraction, Ed Brubaker, those guys come back because I enjoy talking to them, and I think they're very interesting conversations. Neil Adams was an exceptional conversation. I was very proud of that, and I thought we had a great time. Ethan Van Sciver is a very interesting talker. So really, I think you'll find something for you. Drew Friedman from the alternative and art books and stuff. What a really interesting guy. And the same too with now I'm blanking. Dean Haspiel. Guys like that. So I think you'll find a pretty well-rounded group of creators to listen to. And then by the same token, some interesting TV and film interviews as well with guys like Bud Schulberg, who just passed away this year, the man who wrote The Harder They Fall and On the Waterfront, the man who wrote I Could Have Been a Contender, I Could Have Been Somebody. He's been on Wordballoon. And Walter Hill, the great film director, has been on Wordballoon. Thomas Jane. So, check it out. Wordballoon.com. We're at iTunes as well. Good stuff.
Okay.
If I say so myself.
I agree, but I agree. Last question. Be honest.
All right.
How much hate mail have you been getting from my comments about Bendis on Wordballoon?
None, actually. And, it's funny. We finished our conversation, and not 20 minutes later, Bendis and I spoke.
And his ears were burning.
They must have been. He's like, I'm sorry we haven't finished the Bendis tapes. I apologize. It's not you. It's me. Yeah, that's how Brian talks.
That is an uncanny imitation.
I've been pretty proud of my Bendis. And actually, I told Fraction does a great brewbaker. And I think after being at Chicago Comic-Con, I had time to talk with Mark Miller. And I'm getting a lot better at my Mark Miller. So I'm looking forward to talking to Fraction and having the two of us talk. But no, I've gotten very good comments about our discussion. Because not only did we do this interview, but like I said, we had a little debate about what's going on currently in the mainstream. And I thought it provided some good grist for the mill. So that was good.
So if you want to know what I said about Bendis, you have to go to wordballoon.com and just listen to the interview.
Absolutely.
Thanks so much.
Thanks, Elliot. Good seeing you, man.
Again, it was a total blast being on Wordballoon.
My pleasure. Keep writing, and we'll do another one.
Awesome. For John Suintres and the Chicago Red Eye, this is Elliot Serrano. This has been Geek to Me.